That joint live right there. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna give them time to get in the building. Rod Body, if you're coming in the building, we back on with the brother Rod Hayes. We about to be lit in the building. We see you coming in. They finna pile up in this joint. We got 23 people so far. Hey, get them on. Tell them we lit. We live. Yeah, I've been rolling them out, man, non-stop. Baba told me to stay busy.
I've been watching. I've been seeing what you've been doing.
Yeah, we try to cover all the subjects that they talk about. All right, let me get that chat pulled up and we can rock and roll, man. We got people up in this joint. Hey, get them on, man. We lit. We live. We in the building. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe button. We got the legendary Rod Hayes on with us, man. About to take over the game. Yeah, we got to I see Black Magic going live too right now. Oh yeah. Hey, so where you want to start at, Rod? Because we rolling there. You want to give them a couple more minutes? We got about 67 people in here so far, but they finna
give them a couple more minutes, Elder. But while we waiting, you know, we can go over like a little introduction on what we talking about.
Okay.
A lot of us became familiar with the YAKUB doctrine through the Nation of Islam, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Elijah said he learned from Master Fard Muhammad that there was a big-head scientist playing with magnets as a youth and found that opposites attract.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Remember the part about opposites attract because it's going to come back up toward the end of the description.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, YAKUB decided that he would make inferior people to rule over his kindred for 6,000 years. And Elijah said that the time we in now is the time of the end of the reign and the rule of YAKUB's grafted double. All right, now, the first thing we have to do is trace the word YAKUB. YAKUB is a Hebrew word. It's actually pronounced correctly in Hebrew as Yakub.
Yeah.
It's spelled in Hebrew language using the English script, what we call a transliteration. You've seen Pops do that 1,000 times in his writings. He'll give you the script, then he give you the word for word transliteration, and then he give you the word for word translation, and then he give you the intent behind the language in this original language that would be different from the intentions of the topic in modern day English. So then he would put a bunch of little things in brackets throughout the sentence of his translation, right? Because these are the things you have to add in order for the Hebrew language to be coherent to an English-speaking person in the translation, right? So YAKUB, where is the name YAKUB, biblically speaking? The name YAKUB, biblically speaking, is translated into English as Jacob. Right? So what did Jacob do? What is the significance of Jacob?
Yeah.
Right?
You asking me or you?
This is what you call rhetorical questions, because most of us know the answers to them already. But I'm gonna still, when I get done, I'm gonna go back over what he did. All right. First of all, you have to understand Jacob was a fraternal twin to a brother named Esau, or Edom is what they called it. Now, the Hebrew Israelites tend to think that the pale-skinned Europeans are Edomites. That's not possible. If you go back to the story of Adam and Eve, Adam's name is also Edom in Hebrew. Right? So now the story is being broke up to confuse the reader. So Adam's twin brother is Jacob. And Adam had 2 sons, so they say, right? And he had Cain and Abel, right? Now, they offered up offerings to the elders, or they say they offered up the offerings to the heavens in the book. And that Abel's offering, Habil, was good, and they accepted it, but he was a farmer of wheats and grains. But Cain was a farmer of cattle and goats. Livestock is what it's actually called. And so he made an offering, but they said the offering was no good. So in a fit of jealousy, Cain slew Abel. Ain't that what the story say? All right, now where do we hear that story in the historical context anywhere else before?
In ancient Kemet, where Osiris got killed by his brother.
Osiris and Set. All right, now, Set, what is a Set? It's a pair, ain't it?
That's right. Go ahead.
Right. So if Osiris is the first, Set is the second. So Set became jealous of Osiris. Do you remember what he was jealous about?
It's a number of things that I can think of and come up with, but I think it was because of how he ruled, or just overall how he ruled. But like it's a lot of little things involved with why he killed them.
You got to go back to the story of Inky.
He was teaching the humans.
Why was Enlil jealous of Inky? That's the same reason.
Because the rulership,
right.
Like he got placed in charge.
Right. And who was Inky married to?
Inky was married to Ninti. He was married to Damkina. He was married to he had several wives, but the ones that I can think of.
Now, one of his wives, Mother Ninti, held the title of Inanna. Right? Inanna is a secret word in the Anunnaki pantheon. Inanna is the heir to the earth rights. The name is the Egyptian eye of Horus. And Nana is 9.
Okay.
So he's looking at the 9 when he sees Mother Ninti. Now, Mother Ninti have the good graces of somebody that the Anunnaki refer to in the Hebrew tongue as El, Elion, El. And who do we say that is?
Elion, El, we say that's Anu.
That's Anu himself. Right? Now, we already starting with Elijah Muhammad, and we at Inky and Enlil and the Anunnaki.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me get a drink.
Get you a drink of water. Let me give me a drink.
Okay, now, pause for a minute. In The Sons of Canaan by Malachi York. Remember that? He mentioned the Canaanite, who was the son of Ham, who is consistent through the Levitical text to be inflicted with something called leprosy. The clean leper is not the same as what they call the dirty leper or the unclean leper.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So the clean leper, he only have a loss of pigmentation of the skin, and his hair turns a yellowish white. That's what they say in Leviticus. When they tell you the description of them with the blonde hair and milky colored skin. All right. But it's something about this group. They got hair texture the same as Ham. But who is Ham and what land did he settle? Remember, Baba tell us the Ham settled the land that we call today the Ethiopia into the Sudan. Right? And the Sethians, they settled something called North Africa. Right? And then those from Abraham came from Ur of the Chaldees. Pause right there. Ur means fire. And Chaldees mean those wicked of the fire. They commonly translate Chaldean into English, if you can find somebody willing to translate it, as demon people. Now, in the city of Ur, remember Baba taught us about Gehenna. Gehenna was a giant hole in the ground that was stoked with coals smothered in sulfur to intensify the burn. Now, if you go to Zechariah Extension, when he's telling you about the Anunnaki disposal of the Lulu Amalu, right? He said they would walk over the cliff into a flaming ember as if they was in a trance when it was time to dispose of them. Now, this brings us to the question of cremation. Why was they burning them in the trash dump where they put waste?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Okay, now the biblical description that tells you about Gehenna say that in Gehenna there was weeping and gnashing of teeth. What you gonna do if you catch on fire?
Yeah, right.
Howling and screaming, right?
Stop, drop, roll. Go ahead.
You ain't nowhere to roll. You on top of the coals in a hole.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Okay. Enter Dante's Inferno. And Dante's Inferno gives you the modern day understanding and concept of hell. This is a Middle Eastern, all the way into European concept of hell and death. Has nothing to do with the people of the Americas concept, and it has nothing to do with the people of Africa's concept, or the people of India's concept, or the people of China's concept. It's concentrated. Now, where does the ziggurat that Pops told us they landed when they came, it was the launch pad. Remember where it was at?
Babylon, well, I guess it'll be Iraq.
It was in the, remember, it was in the city of, it was the ziggurat in Babel that the Earthlings was building for a launch pad to go check on these motherfuckers on that ship that ain't getting right, coming down here with this bullshit. Fuck they motherfucking team. We can do our own shit. Right? So they said the Earthlings is starting to organize, and they building, what is saying there? A scaffold to heaven. Let us now go down, strike them, divide up the languages one from another, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then when they divide up the languages, they scatter the people in all directions. That's called divide and conquer. If you take one group of people and you teach them a different language and a different culture, you automatically separate them from understanding the other people and the other cultures.
Mm-hmm.
There was a problem they didn't contend with, is that the earth, based on geography, will organize the DNA to revert back to the culture of the land. If you vibrate on the frequency, you can tune in to the earth, and the earth will tie you to the land at the place. And gnashing the teeth. What you gonna do if you catch on fire?
Yeah, right.
You're gonna be hollering and
Stop,
screaming,
drop, and
right?
roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Go ahead.
You ain't nowhere to roll. You on top of the coals in a hole.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Okay. Enter Dante's Inferno.
Uh-huh.
And Dante's Inferno gives you the modern day understanding and concept of hell.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Middle Eastern, all the way into European concept of hell and death.
Mm-hmm.
Has nothing to do with the people of the Americas concept, and it has nothing to do with the people of Africa's concept, or the people of India's concept, or the people of China's concept. It's concentrated. Now, where does the ziggurat that Pops told us they landed when they came, it was the launch pad. Remember where it was at?
Babylon, well, I guess it'll be Iraq.
It was in the, remember, it was in the city of, it was the ziggurat in Babel that the Earthlings was building for a launch pad to go check on these motherfuckers on that ship that ain't getting right, coming down here with this bullshit. Fuck that motherfucking team. We can do our own shit. Right? So they said the Earthlings is starting to organize, and they building, what is saying there? A scaffold to heaven. Let us now go down, strike them, divide up the languages one from another, right? Okay, and then when they divide up the languages, they scatter the people in all directions. That's called divide and conquer. If you take one group of people and you teach them a different language and a different culture, you automatically separate them from understanding the other people and the other cultures. There was a problem they didn't contend with, is that the earth, based on geography, will organize the DNA to revert back to the culture of the land. If you vibrate on the frequency, you can tune in to the earth, and the earth will tie you to the land at the place of what they call nativity. Where else do you hear that word? You hear that word at the birth of the Christ in the Bible, right? They call it the nativity scene, right? And then where else do you find the word nativity? It's in immigration and naturalization laws. Right? So what are they telling us in this secret code? What they telling us is that the sacrificial child is the child born a native. So they gonna sacrifice the native, original man, Adama, Edomite, the one from the earth, the clay, the ruddy red dirt. And they're gonna undermine him. YAKUB means to what? Supplant. And supplant mean what? Undermine, right? Okay, now, So who's behind the undermining? Jacob, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because YAKUB crafted what? The devil.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like pulling up the etymology of the word devil?
Let's pull it up.
It's important because people believe the devil means a spooky ghost with pitchfork and horns. But if you do the etymology on the word, you get the understanding of what you're dealing with. Because the word devil in the end only means your adversary. E-T-Y, E-T-Y etymology, E-T-Y.
Oh, E.T. Okay, hold up. Like that.
Right. Etymology of the word devil. You could have just put devil.
I get it. Old English, Germany, late Latin from Greek.
You see where it say
Diablos.
Greek is diablos and
Yeah,
accuser,
Diablos.
a slanderer, right?
Yeah.
From diabolin to slander. Now go where it say more definitions. Now scroll down because we finna get into the word. We finna get deep into this devil shit. Right here. Devil, third person, devil's past tense, devil's past participle, devil, gerund or present particle, deviling, past tense, devil, past participle, devile. Okay, so now it's a act as a juror assistant for a lawyer or a professional, right? North America means to harass or worry. Let's go down a little further. Let's see if we can get some more information on the word devil. Origin. Old English, diofol, related to the Dutch, duivel, and German, tufel, via late Latin from Greek, diabolos, accuser, slanderer, used in the Septuagint to translate the Hebrew Satan. Satan from diabolin to slander, from dia, cross, balin, to throw across. So in the book, the accuser is the false accuser, is the one we call the devil.
Mm-hmm.
See if we get any more etymology to the word.
Okay, all right. Let's see here.
A devil is subordinate evil spirit afflicting humans. Also in Christian theology, the devil, a power. Now, this is a Christianized definition. Because if you notice, it's always saying in the Christian theology, right? Old English, the fall, the devil, subordinate evil spirit afflicting humans. Also, in Christian theology, the devil, a powerful spirit or evil, otherwise known as Satan, from late Latin, diablos, also the source of Italian, diavolo, French, diable, and Spanish, diablo. German, tufel is Old High German, teufo, from Latin, via Gothic, diabolos, right? So now, here it is that a devil is an attorney.
Damn, go ahead.
And the attorney in this case is the one making the accusation. Who would that be in the? So now we ended up tracing YAKUB, that drafted devil led us to the courtroom.
Go ahead. Oh, you going somewhere with this? Go ahead.
In the courtroom, you got an attorney that's the accuser. What do they call him? You know, you can go back to the screen.
Him the district attorney, right?
The district attorney, the prosecutor, the state litigator, etc.
The plaintiff.
Right? You can pull us back up, Elder. We got a good understanding of the word devil. We should by now. We talking about the lawyers.
Yeah, you about to go in. Go ahead.
Okay, now, where did they give us an opportunity to discover that an attorney is a devil?
They never told us that. Well, I ain't never heard it till now.
You ever heard of Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, I think I seen that movie.
Who was he working for?
He was working for the damn devil.
The devil.
Yeah.
Who was the attorney that was running a law firm.
Oh yeah, now I'm starting to figure. Yeah, come on with it. Let me see what you got.
Okay, so the young attorney with a conscience and a barometer for right don't want to participate or help the devil do his devilishment in the courthouse. So they end up having a falling out, and Keanu Reeves end up in a conflict with the devil. Right? Then what happened? Keanu Reeves went on to become Constantine. Who was Constantine? You know what Constantine was?
You said who was Constantine?
Yeah.
Like in the movie or in like dealing with like the rewriting
What's the first, when you hear Constantine, what's the first thing come to your mind?
Constantine 325 AD.
Nicene Council.
Yeah.
Right? So he's telling you that the devil sent him to advocate in Nicaea under Constantine. Right? But remember the movie he did when the robot was in Central Park in New York, and he had all these superpowers and he was an alien? I think it was a remake of an old 1950s movie called I think it's called When the Earth Stood Still or some shit.
Oh yeah, I seen that movie, When the Earth Stood Still. I'm trying to think about
and they had robot. That big robot that was protecting the dude that looked like the human.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I seen that movie 2 or 3 times.
Look in the comments. Somebody gonna tell you what the name of the movie is, but we're gonna go on while you look at the comments.
Yeah, somebody drop that movie in the comments. And if you want to show us some love, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And we posted the brother Rod Haynes Cash App in the link if you want to show him some love. We got that in the links. So we're gonna keep rolling. We just wanted to make them announcements. Go ahead, brother Rod.
Okay, now I want to show you something. You see this book right here?
Yeah. Oh, I got that book. Oh yeah, hold on. I got that book. Damn. Phone fell and shit.
Yeah, it's the reason why I'm showing you this book. Right. Okay, that's Michael Cremo.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Y'all yelled on it. Better believe it.
Okay, so now he have anomalies in the historical record that modern science don't want him to talk about in that book. One of the things he talk about in that book is how long humans have been operating with a high level of intelligence on the earth. Everything from the Vimanas to 5 million year old boot prints in the soil. It's in there, right? But he's coming from a Ayurvedic timeline to tell us that these are cycles of life that we go through on Earth, right? Now, we go to the Circle 7 of Noble Drew Ali. It's a derivative primarily of 2 books. Do you remember what 2 books they were?
No.
One was called The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ by Levi Dowling. And the other one was called Unto Thee I Grant, The Economy of Life.
Yeah, I don't got
right?
that one.
Okay, now, when you get the book from the Rosicrucians, like I did, when you look in the inside cover, you see all of these ancient scrolls, right? And these ancient scrolls are historical records of the earth, right? Let's see if we can pull that book cover up so they can see it.
What's the name of it?
Damn, I forgot the name. I just said the name of it, didn't I?
Yep. It's the one after the Aquarian Gospel.
Oh, it's Auntie D.I. Grant, The Economy of Life.
Hey, spell that first part. Say that.
UNTO space THEE TH I Grant.
This book right here.
Yep. That's the book.
Oh yeah, I gotta get this. Go ahead.
So now that's on your radar. Now I want you to pull up another book that I'm finna use to cross-reference this book. Right? I'm reading the pictures in this book, Auntie D.I. Grant. Pull up Rampa T. Lobsang, RAMPA T period space LOB. There you go. It popped up. LOB. There you go. The name of the book is called The Cave of the Ancients.
You see it?
Not yet, but that's him, but keep scrolling. We're looking for what it's called, The Cave of the Ancients.
Cave of the Ancients. Right here.
All right, now in this book, he talks about going into the caves of Tibet, into a secret chamber that had a living computer in the room, in the chamber. That was programmed to tell him who he was by the resonance of his DNA. Right? And the people that came up on the screen explained the technology and how it works. Now, why am I bringing up Ayurvedic school of thought? Because they have ancient scrolls that predate modern historical record books that has a longer history of the world than what we have available to us from modern scholastics, because they use education as a weapon against us. All right, now, one more reference just to add some flavor to it. Pull up a series, it's called Masters of the Far East. They are giving secrets in this book right here. That's the twine to tie all this shit together.
I gotta get this joint.
So this is a collection of about 5 or 6 books. Now, from there, we want to know about genetics, and we want to know about reproduction, right? So these are called the sutras, SUTRAs, in India. All right, you go back to regular screen now.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so the one they call the great text is called Mahabharata. And it's broke up into multiple different sections. The epic work of the Bhagavad Gita is within the Mahabharata.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, over there, they got something, scrolls for government, because in the secret caves of Tibet, this is why China was trying to kill off all of the Tibetan priests.
Mm.
They are the keepers of certain sacred records that they ain't gonna never let these motherfuckers know where they at. So they trying to torture them out of the information, because every time they go in the Himalayan mountains and send somebody to get these records, they don't come back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they keep telling them that you don't really want to know where they at because you ain't gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they inside of the caves, and the security of the caves, if a person go in there that haven't been trained to attune their frequency, what end up happening is they suffocate their mitochondria, and it basically shorts them out.
Mm.
So that's why they can't, that's why they don't never come back, because they're not properly trained on the energy balancing that's required in order to enter into the sacred places.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's sacred places all over the world. Some
Yep.
of them you can enter, but you don't think nothing happened, but you don't never know why you can't get your life right. You fucked your whole energy field up. You getting a whole bunch of karma for a whole bunch of motherfuckers that you didn't have nothing to do with. All right, now, so the YAKUB story traces biblically to Jacob, and this is confirmed by anybody in the nation. Now, they are a group of people known as Jacobins, and they also call them Jacobins.
Mm.
YAKUB writing the name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? In early Roman history, they came as a group called Etruscans, right? And these are the ones who Constantine set as the devil's advocate. It's just judicials. When you ask Africans about the Osiris story from the tribal communities, they call it the holy drama. Right? And they said that it was a court case. Right? So somewhere around the time of the first recorded dynasty, some people came here from Nibiru to expedite the mining of the gold. We are familiar with that as Nuwapians, right? We know they came for the gold. Now, we know of the scientists that accompanied them. We know about Ninursin. We know about Erishkigal and Nergal, right? We know that Inky was a geneticist, and Mother Ninti was also what you call the lead nurse or the great doula. Right? This we already know from our Nuwapian research. When you go into India, there was a scroll that gave them the description of the genome, but it was coded. And they pass it off as a sex manual and call it the Kama Sutra.
Oh yeah, it's right. Go ahead.
Now we ain't gonna pull that up because it's gonna show probably some butt naked people on the cover. But in the Kama Sutra, the energy harness of each one of the sex positions tells you what DNA codon is being activated. They use the lewd act of sex to make people absorb the study in the culture that they was in. But it's coded because only the people from the culture know that the code exists. So you come along and you discover that it's coded, and that the code is the codon, you see that it's a DNA thing. How do we know it? Because of what they call the nergus, right? So we talking about the caduceus in Greece, the double serpent climbing the sword, right? With the feathers at the top, the symbol of Hermes himself, right? The winged guy who was the messenger of the gods. And he always done things expeditiously, very fast. So we know him today in modern animated series as Flash. But before he was Flash, he was called Mercury, right? And so he carries the medical symbol for the modern American Medical Association. Ain't that odd?
Yeah, it's hard.
If the devil is an attorney, you didn't know doctors were attorneys either, did
you? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The doctor's job is not about health. They are legally responsible to maintain Lulu Amalu and keep them in a working fashion for a minimum of 60 years. They're not allowed to have the technology that can turn that 60 into 250 easy. So where do we find geneticists that can tell us the leads to finding this longer life process? I want you to pull up Cynthia Kenyon. I'm gonna spell the name for you when you get to the screen.
Cynthia Kenyon. So hold up.
We finna get educated today.
All right, you already got me some Jews on me, man.
Cynthia.
Cyn.
Cyn.
Oh, Tyn.
THIAKE. No. IA, new word. IA, then new word. Not AI, IA. Well, you can leave it at that. IAKENYON.
Okay.
All right. Go to where it say videos. We're not gonna play this video, but I'm going to show them where to look.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. What you got?
Okay, now what she's telling us about in these videos, you can just scroll down just so they could get a good look at who I'm talking about.
Genetic control.
She is a gerontologist, right, out of UCLA Berkeley, who discovered something called a human aging hormone and a receptor blocker. Now, go back to the Bible for a minute. If you think they're not doing genetics, she's telling you what she discovered that's related to the aging process that makes the cells break down, right? If you go right there where it say key moments, and you go right to see where it say 10 key moments in the middle. Yeah. And then right over that, nope, it's not that one. No, you passed it. It's up, son. The video I was looking for is up, son.
Right there.
But anyway, see the DAF2 hormone receptor?
Yeah.
That's it. Click that. I don't know if it's gonna let you play the sound.
No, they won't do the sound. But they can see they can see the video, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so here she's telling you how it works. See where it say hormone receptors are similar to human hormone receptors, receptor for insulin and IGF-1?
Right.
So some of these hormones, she had to rename them or name them because they didn't know they existed.
Damn.
All right, now, her work is to find longevity. Now go to the search bar and look up, I don't know if it's going to tell you about the secret society, but it's called the Lazarus Group. Lazarus, like Lazarus in the Bible. Go to the all so we can see what they talk, if it's the right one.
They Chinese niggas?
So the Lazarus Group, he might be part of it because they got people from all over the world involved in the Lazarus Group, but they all of them old motherfuckers like Henry Kissinger, the Rockefeller brothers, all the motherfuckers is part of the Lazarus Group.
Yeah.
It's a secret society. I think they talk about it in the X-Files and they talk about it in another TV show, but their quest is to find, it's a horror movie that talk about it too, but their quest is to find a way to eternal life.
Uh-huh.
Right? So the Lazarus Group was responsible for a lot of the resurgence of the old technology that Hitler recovered and learning that they had age reversing technology.
Mm.
All right, now we're talking genetics, we're talking Yakub's grafted double. I need you to pull up chromosome sheath. Because for you to understand what I'm about to tell you next, you have to have a visual.
Chromosome what?
SHEATH.
Shit, S-H.
Okay,
Hey,
put this in there. Put T-E-L, erase that.
Chromosome?
Yeah, erase that. T-E-L-M-E-R-E. All right, now we're talking. You see that red piece on the end of the chromosome, right?
Uh-huh.
That's called a telomere. As you get older, that gets smaller, and as that gets smaller, it's because you age because of that.
Uh-huh.
Now, remember in the Bible, it's saying man shall not, the Spirit of God shall not always dwell with man, for his years shall be 120.
Yeah.
When you born, you see the third line up. You got a cursor you can put on it to show what I'm talking about.
I don't got a cursor on this one, but I got it blew up for you if you can.
Okay, so now you see, okay, now look, you see where it's red?
Yeah.
It's a line over that. That's the first line.
Yeah.
Then it's the second line, and then the third line.
Yeah.
When you born, you approximately, that telomere is approximately to the third line.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you are about 60, it's right there.
Okay.
In order to take an eternal being and limit their life, altering the genetics, you have to clip the telomere. And once you did it, it used to cover the entire chromosome. But now it doesn't. This is when they stole our eternal life. Right here is how they did it.
Man. Go ahead.
Okay, now, zoom back. Okay, so now they made us be where our lifespan is roughly 120 years, and that's determined by that part of the telomere. That determines our aging cycles. In order for that to work, the body had to create a receptor in order to have a chemical tell the body how old it is. This is done through a series of hormones called human growth hormones, HGH. Pull HGH up so the people can see I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because if they don't know, I know what I'm talking about by
right
now.
HGH.
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 Yeah. You see that blue bottle right there?
Right here?
HGH on it.
Human growth hormone.
Yeah. You see what it said at the bottom?
It says
Samotropin rDNA origin for injection.
Wow, go ahead.
Okay, now this is what bodybuilders is using to replace these steroids because it doesn't have the same toxic effects. Right? But remember they've been talking about our DNA all through the television. Right? And they talking about stem cells and shit with the rDNA. They talking about receptors and cells and all that shit. All of that is in relation to the jab and related topics. And we're not going to address that. Now, the HGH is responsible in different strains of itself to that the pituitary gland produces in increments, and as it produces a certain amount, the chemical changes. Now, remember what they told us the rDNA do, right?
Yeah, it copies cells, right?
Yeah, it tells the cells what's good, what's not, what to accept and what not to accept. Right? Now, let's go back to the screen so we can chop it up some more on this YAKUB's grafted double
shit. Go ahead, because you just gave me a lot of clues to go off of on my own little research off of this. That's on the chromosome joint.
We gotta remember, Pops told us all this shit. I just put it in a way that more people can understand it. That's it.
Yeah, I just seen it when you was putting it out.
I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not telling you nothing that ain't already written.
It's fire. That was fire.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay, now, so YAKUB grafted a double. This big-head scientist, whether he existed or not, becomes irrelevant, or what they call in law a moot point, when the effect of if he did exist is here. Right? So whether YAKUB actually grafted the double or not becomes a moot point. It's not even relevant because the byproduct, the end result of what they claim YAKUB's grafted double's aim was, has been reached. Because he created an inferiorly genetic people and he put them in front of him to rule over his people. Okay, now we're talking about imperial conquest in royal families of ancient times and modern era unfolding. When you understand,
just cut off, come back on.
Hey, hold the show for a minute. I gotta take this call.
I got you. Hey man, if you in the building, hit that like. Go ahead, Rod. How you been? Hey, if you in the building, let me stop saying the screen. Hey, if you in the building, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, right? And if you want to show us some love, show the brother Rod Haynes some love, we're dropping this Cash App in the links. So you know, he don't do it for money, but we like to show the brother some love because this is what he do. bring us the information that we need to the family, right? So I'm dropping it in the links right now. I drop it every I drop it in the links every 5 minutes because we got a record amount of people on here right now. Like we had 500 and something. That's like just the most I had on the live at one time. And it could be more than that because this computer delayed. So, but if you're in the building, Rob Bot, we appreciate you for coming out. Like I say, hit that like. We got 500 people. Everybody hit that like, man. Come on in and come on in. Go share it on Facebook. Tell everybody we on live with the legendary Rod Hayes. We on live. And that chromosome joint he just dropped, man. He just gave me another part of this shit because I'm finna ready to do a tape called Which One Was First, the woman or the man? The woman or the man, which one was first? And I was looking at the chromosomes. Rob Haynes probably got to click back on and click back off. If you want to show me some love, we're dropping my Cash App in the links. You know what I'm saying? So we love. We take $1, $5, $10, whatever you got. If you want to show me and the brother Roy Haynes that you really down with us, send us $100. Send us $100, man. That'll really put your brother in the game right now. I'm telling you. That'll put me in the game right now. If the ancestors send me $100, they put me in the game. Yeah, so we're talking about YAKUB's Drafted Devil. And the Rod Haynes is giving his perspective on it, and I'm seeing a whole bunch of other stuff to add to my game. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We absorb everybody's perspective. Whether it don't matter if you disagree with them or not, you think that their perspective is wrong or not. We just absorb that perspective and take what we can take from it, and we add it to our game. That just make us just that much better, right? So I think Ron Hayes is gonna be back on in a minute. I think his phone, somebody called him or something. So I'll just give him a minute. He gonna be back on. But that chromosome joint, man, and he might have just gave me. He just gave me the energy to go looking into an eternal life thing with the chromosomes and the telomeres that he was just talking about. I'm gonna go look into that. I might do a tape on the chromosomes, come back on that joint. That's a whole tape right there that we could get in on. If you're in the building, hit that like, man. Hit that subscribe. I told y'all we're gonna get the brother Rod Haynes back on. We got other people we bringing on too as for the features to keep this thing rolling, keep it live, keep it lit. We hitting you every day. We put out the black extraterrestrial tape this morning. It should be showing up on the page tomorrow. Because they got a 1 day delay on our tapes. So we put 3 tapes out yesterday. So them tapes should be showed up tomorrow. And yeah, he giving me a whole nother perspective on the YAKUB thing, man. You know, he tying it all in together. He bringing it all home. We got Hakeem in the building with us right here, man. Look at this dude. Look at this dude, bro. Look at this dude. Hey, Hakeem, go on in there, close the door so I can kick the background noise out. Close the door. Bring me back a pretzel, bro. Bring me back a pretzel, Hakeem. Yeah, so we glad you tuned in with us today, man. You know, historical event. And like YAKUB, the 6,000 years, he was given 6,000 years for his people to do this business. And I believe it was all ordained because I believe everything happens for a reason. And everything, even though it might seem bad, it's always a good side to it. But YAKUB created this devil, and now Rob Haynes just pointed out that the devil is a lawyer, right? And you know, they tell us about the devil's advocate, and then they say Jesus is a lawyer as well. Jesus is pleading your case. They say Jesus is pleading your case against The devil's there to accuse you, say you did this, say you did that. He like the DEA in the court. He like the DEA, right? He over there saying, trying to get you in jail, get you to go to hell. Jail is another word for jail and hell is synonymous when you study the language. The J and the H is interchangeable. That's why they say jalapeno when it's a J there. So when you say jail, you also saying hell. And then by the devil being a lawyer, a DEA try to put you in jail, that make a lot of sense on this devil thing. The devil being the advocate, that makes a lot of sense. And so the devil is the accuser. He's always trying to find some dirt on us. I know it's a certain group of people that's always saying niggas did it. You know, like I said, told you in that movie, The Goodfellas, when them guys, mafia guys were robbing those trucks. And they would park the truck outside in front of the restaurant, walk in, two Italians steal the truck. And then the guy come back out and see his truck gone. He goes back in to get on the phone and call the police, said 2 niggas stole his truck. He accused him. He accused the 2 niggas of stealing his truck. Hey, shout out the sister Sharilla, like I was saying, Sharilla, Priscilla, for the $1 donation. Like I say, we take 5, 10, 1, whatever you got. If you really want to put your brother in the game, send us $100. That'll put us all the way in the game right there. All we need is one person to do that. That'll put us all the way in the game. Yeah. So that devil the devil etymology breaking down to a lawyer, I can see that. I can grasp it. I can say, okay, all right. And then, like he said, some of these stories is really court cases. So it's another piece to the puzzle that we get here to put this thing together. Because all Yakub's drafted devil here to accuse us and say that we're not worthy to go back into travel galactically. Because we told you everything here is a test. We in school, so we get tested. From time to time, you have tests in school. So some things you might thinking is bad or something going wrong for you. Look at the good side to it. It's a lot of things that I think that I be thinking that it's something bad, and then I look at the good side. Like this, for example, one day I'm driving and I'm in a rush because I'm running late to get to my son, pick my son up, and I'm going like 70 and like 40, right? This old lady get in front of me driving slow. I'm mad. Like, this lady driving like she's driving slow. She's hitting the brakes and stuff. But then up the road, there's a police thing. And then I really would have been late if they pulled me over. I would have really been late. Sitting there trying to talk to their boss and shit. The supervisor, tell them that, I'm free to travel. So it would have delayed me another 20, 30 minutes, probably, even more, waiting on the supervisor. If they rookies didn't know what time it was. But by that old lady being in front of me driving slow, it made me slow down. I was looking at it as a bad thing, but then it was a good thing that I didn't get stopped by the cops. I had to wrestle with these agents, right? So a lot of look when shit happened and it seemed like it's bad. Look at the good thing. Like it was times where I didn't have no food, and when that food. I didn't have no food because the universe wanted me to fast. The universe wanted me to fast. So shit happened so that it can help you. But you always, if you look at it as bad, it's gonna be a negative, bring negative energy to you. But if you look at it as everything that's bad that happened, look at the positive of it, and bring that positive out. Bring that positive out to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Mr. Thomas for the $1 donation, brother. Hey, much love, brother. We appreciate you. Like I said, Rob Haynes probably had to go. He probably had an emergency, man. But we at least we got what we got. He'll probably be back on in just a minute. Hey, can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I
Hey,
was just making sure because I want to make sure the people can hear what we're
can
talking
you hear
about.
me? Yo, yo, yo. What the fuck?
I can't hear you at all. Oh, that's my phone tripping.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Oh shit. I was like, oh man, I know it ain't. Oh yeah, we can hear you though. We can hear you clear, loud and clear. I think you
Okay.
left off where you was talking about the devil in the court thing and connecting that with YAKUB, drafted devil. And I think he was going into the chromosome joint. That chromosome joint was hot, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So we got to the part about how they was able to stop us from living these extensively long lives.
Yeah, yeah.
So now we have to figure out what's the motive. Why they want to cut our lifespan? You go back to Genesis. They didn't get kicked out for eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody think that's why they got kicked out, but they got kicked out so they would eat from the tree of eternal life and live forever and be like one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever they is, they got long lifespans, but they cut ours short, messing with the genetics, right? So in the birth scrolls of the doulas, it got the sequencing of the human genome written in herbs, what the herb do, and what it treat. Tells them what's on that section of DNA that can utilize this herb. Excuse me.
It gets you a drink of water, man.
I think I breathed in a dust particle or something.
Yeah, I've been having that lately,
Right,
lately too.
Yeah. So now look, we know that they wanted us to live a short life, but why? So if they cut the 120 years into 60, how would they go about this?
Yeah, right.
When you read in the book, in the Sumerian tablets, they talk about making the viruses in the laboratory in order to keep the human population in check. If I'm not mistaken, I'm almost positive Pops talk about it in the Holy Tablets.
Yeah, and the man from Planet Riz. Yeah.
So what we thinking is naturally occurring virus and bacteria. They've been making this shit in the laboratory all the time. Right? When you know what the genome is, you know what the effects of the viral agent. Notice they always call it an agent. What do agents do? They infiltrate, right? Right? What do viral do? Viruses spread, right? And they come in, infiltrate, and spread out. Right? So they scatter themselves across the land and try to move themselves into what's called positions of prominence. Every politician is a barrister, meaning an attorney.
Go ahead.
Meaning the goddamn devil.
You got him. The devil. The damn devil.
The goddamn devil.
Go ahead.
Right? Now, if they are devils, who they work for? Barristers are what you call under royalty to lords. The lords are the ones who govern the land. Right? And the lords is the ones that call themselves the elves. Right? And the elves came in with El Shaddai.
Go ahead. I'm with you.
right? So El Shaddai is Inky, which telling us that it was part of some form of genetic engineering program, right? So they working to cultivate the land. Ain't that what it say? And the husband cultivated the land, right? And tended to the cattle and to the flocks and to the herds. Ain't that what it say? Okay, now, what your body made out of?
Water.
The soil of the earth.
Yeah, earth, water, all the minerals of the earth.
Yep. And then they said it took man from the dust of the ground. That means he's earthborn. He's tied to the earth because he's made out of earth. Right? Then it say he divided them up into tribes, families, and clans. Those 3 different cultures.
That's right.
So it's 3.
Go ahead.
It's 3 major cultures: tribes, families, and clans. Right? Tribes are more political in function. Family is more personal in function. And clans is more nomadic in function. What they call Arabi. And who is the Arabi? The Arabs, right? And what's the difference in the Arabs and the Chaldeans?
The difference between the Arabs and the Chaldeans, and like the Chaldeans from back during Abraham's time, or
now,
like right now?
Right now, what's the difference?
Ain't no difference really. They like the same people really, because they like Hindus and Fugaloids, like pale Arabs, red Arabs. They really like the original Arabs, but they pale Arabs.
Pay attention. Look, look at the land. We can obviously see they the same people. So it's something that's dividing and conquering them. What is it?
Religion.
Religion. Because Chaldeans are always Catholics. And Arabs are almost always Muslim. Right? Divide and conquer. So what Elijah Muhammad say YAKUB grafted devil did? How do you recognize it?
Go ahead.
He said everywhere he go, he sowed dissension between the righteous. He turned one against the other and watch them fight. And when they depleted from the fight, he come in and break it up, and then he offer them a solution for a fee.
It's a pale shit. Go ahead.
Hegelian dialectic 101. Right? Okay, now, how did he say YAKUB's people in the grafting process managed the process?
By like how he created that line of gene, you saying?
Right, but he was enforcing this by something.
He had a birth control. He had birth control laws.
No. You're talking about what he did. I'm talking about how he secured it.
With fear, I think with fear. But with fear, religion, or something.
Remember, YAKUB had how many scientists side with him?
Oh, I can't remember that, because I know it was 66,000 that decided to go with Shabazz, but I can't remember how many it was with YAKUB. Was it 600 or something? I can't remember. Go ahead.
But anyway, they had instructions because they knew that he wouldn't live to see his.
Oh yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
They said he knew he wouldn't live to see his work completed, so he gave them instructions. Right. And he told them how to enforce the wedding or the union, the people, in order to get to the gene, the lighter gene.
Go ahead. I can't remember exactly.
Right? So this is when he explained to them the process of the grafting process.
Mm-hmm.
He say, marry the darkest ones to the lightest ones.
Mm-hmm.
And marry the medium ones to the medium ones. Until you get all the way down to blind hair and blue eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now Pops told us about two different groups of Europeans.
Mm-hmm.
What we call Nordics comes from what you call Flugerons.
Mm-hmm.
And the Nordics became tall, warrior-like Europeans with the long aquiline features. And the Canaanite became the short, stubby, round-faced, curly-haired European that you see today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got the white boy with the nappy hair like an afro.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now they call the Irish the redhead stepchild of Europe because of their piebald suntan and their ginger-colored hair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they don't like the Scots because they too close to the Irish in relation of clans. But they tell you that it's a war about Catholicism. Because the original Irish was Orisha. The word Irish is a derivative of Orisha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now Baba wrote Who's Who on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what we're going over right now. Who's who on the planet Earth? Now, the Greeks were the first Europeans that Inanna, Queen of Heaven and Earth, ordered to be cleaning up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, why did she order somebody to go up there and clean them up? What happened? Where is it recorded?
Right.
Well, she woke up one morning and she summoned the bookkeeper, Tahuti, and told him to dispatch the scientists to a place in Europe called the Caucasus.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And coming to find out, they was living with canines.
Mm-hmm.
A small band of throwaway genetic experiments that wasn't all the way perfected.
Mm-hmm.
Where we find this at? Remember when Pops was saying the birth defects? What kind of God create birth defects?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Remember? This is what he's talking about because it's recorded in the tablets, in the Sumerian tablets.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That they had used sulfur instead of carbon to create the genetic experiment. And the ones that didn't meet the standard, they were supposed to burn them in the fire and fire and brimstones of Gehenna.
Mm-hmm.
But that's sending them into what they call a soul cycle loop, and they will keep coming back defective.
That's interesting.
They can't get out of the Earth's atmosphere as an energy flux. In 3D terms, that means they denied the right to ascend. Now, when they returned, Gypsy hieroglyphs said that Isis was brought a creature from Europe, and when they brought him in, she asked the question, what manner of beast is this?
Go ahead. YAKUB's grafted devil. Go ahead.
YAKUB's grafted devil. Remember, it's a war and a competition between two warring Anunnaki family members. Sibling rivalry one trying to top the other. Enlil heard about the good time Inky was having with the earth people and got jealous. Where do we know about a God that got jealous?
In the Bible.
And what did he say?
I'm a jealous God. Don't put no God before me. No other God.
If he was really a God, he wouldn't even be worried about that bitch ass shit.
Yeah, right? Go ahead.
That sounds like some gay shit to me. Just me. I'm the only one. You can only worship me. Look. So if he got jealous, where do we know the story that we went over earlier of a brother that got jealous?
Yishak was Yakub's father, and he was jealous of his brother because of the rule too. Like it's, I guess that story like spiraled down through different.
Go back to the Emerald Tablets for what you just said.
Achieving your goals takes work. First Form is committed to providing world-class supplements to help fuel you. You're going to take some hits. You're going to get knocked down.
Tahuti say in the Emerald Tablets, Star say, know, man, that life is cycles within cycles. If you interrupt the pattern, you break the cycle. The trick is to learn the lesson to allow you to see when the cycle flips so you can jump out the infinity loop when it turns around so you're not caught on a hamster wheel. Right? So Pop said, remember, in the law of the gods, now he's talking the Galactic Federation law, right? That when you do something in the free will universe to oppress anybody or to deprive them of their right of free will, then you're going to be subject to the same punishment you inflicted on them. Now, we hear this as it goes around, it comes around, right? And you reap what you sow, right? And you get back what you put out. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And all in the same. Different ways of saying it, right?
That's right.
Right. Because galactic law has us in this position because of a prior condition. So the Queen of Heaven and Earth want to clean this up. Whose job is it to clean that shit up?
It's our job.
The galactic laws say that the custodians of the earth is responsible to restore the earth at the close of the age, no matter who did it. So if it's going to be our job to clean it up, how do you clean up the genetic defect of a human that was deliberately deformed by somebody trying to play God in the laboratory? Right? What's the treatment for it? What's the remedy? Because they're going to keep coming back. And if they try to use too much brain power, they're going to shrivel up like Stephen Hawking. Right? So what's the remedy?
Yeah, what's the remedy? What's the remedy?
One drop of Anunnaki blood cleans up all of the birth defects.
Oh. Hey, okay, like, let me pause right there. Let me ask you this. All right, dealing with the O type blood, you got O positive, O negative, AB, positive, negative, AB. Now, from my studying, I'm starting to figure out the special different type of blood on the O type. Now, you said that one drop of blood. So what is it, one drop of the O positive, or is it one type? Could you break that down on the blood deal too? To add that into the YAKUB, because it connects with it.
The blood typing tells them from where you came. because you tied to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
The blood types are altered by the frequency of the earth when you traverse to a different location. It's the frequency of the earth is changing the frequency in the DNA because we organic to the land, we tied to the earth. So as we move across the earth, it's just like you changing radio stations on radio as you move across the country. The earth has to keep you in tune with it in order for you not to fall apart and turn into a big pile of mush on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A genetic soup laying in the middle of nowhere. Right? So earth, you have to be compatible with the earth to a certain degree in order to remain here, or else the earth will start to pull you apart. They call it gravity. But it's the electromagnetic field that puts the energy at play in a torsion field that gives the illusion of gravity, as they describe it. Gravity is the weak force, but the electromagnetic field holds in position according to the way that the rays of light hit the magnetic field.
Hey, you cut out?
All right.
Oh shit.
All right, so now the geneticist is working with somebody to enforce YAKUB's rule. Now, we know YAKUB is a Black Jew, right? Because the Jews come from Jacob, right? So the Judeans, the Black Judeans, are the children of Jacob. Jacob is YAKUB, the supplanter, one who came to replace the original man. Because that's who you are burrowing under. So now, Elijah said that when they was enforcing his rule, they was using the police. Wasn't no police over here before they came with their servants that they brought from Mongolia, from Huns, and from what we call today Hindus.
Right.
These was nomadic tribes that they warred with as Rome proper. So when you look at the wars of Rome and the spoils of war was the women, the children, and the wealth of the land, and they conquered the land. So now we all the way over in the military lane now. So now we got to play warfare mentally to unravel who we fighting against that's keeping us in the condition. Right? So we search documents and we find stuff like the papal bloody decree that you showed. Remember we went over that?
Yeah.
Right. So they made the oath public and now somebody exposed it. Okay, now, and why did what do they call it if you got one drop of Negro blood in America?
A nigga? You got what?
A Negro.
Negro.
All right. How much Anunnaki blood do it take to clean up the genetic mutation?
One drop.
Is that a coincidence?
No. I think it all lines up.
Okay, now watch this. What do they call America? The great melding pot, right?
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
What do you do in a melding pot?
You mix things together.
You mix ingredients together.
Yeah.
And the ingredients they mixing together is enforced through some people known as eugenicists. Remember the opposites attract I told you was gonna come back up? This where it come back up.
Oh yeah,
J.A. Rogers,
go ahead.
Sex, race, right? They do scientific experiments on the uncanny attraction of black men to white women, right?
Go ahead.
And in their studies, they determined originally that the standard of beauty of the black woman was so great that they couldn't overcome that obstacle and compelled them to amalgamate with a white woman.
Mm-hmm.
And in contrary to that, back then, when they did the analysis, they couldn't figure out why the white woman didn't find the black man attractive.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
How in the fuck is they gonna get one drop of blood when they don't attract each other?
Right, go ahead.
So what do you put between two repulsions in order to cause them to contract together or to draw together?
Shit, glue. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, you got two opposing forces. You need something to interrupt or to draw the two forces together. Right? So now the only way you can do that is you got to have something called a reverse resistor, which is going to in turn invert the current of one and automatically draw it to the other. What do everybody motherfucking want? What they can't fucking have.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
So how do you enforce getting these people together? While we at war, they telling us to stay away from white salad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Remember, George Wallace was the governor, was running for governor in Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And he stood up there with a group known as the KKK.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
And he was adamant that we will protect the sanctity and purity of the white woman at all costs.
Yeah, go ahead.
How the fuck you gonna do that?
Right.
Okay, so now we understand the dynamic of the KKK and their origin.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they come from Barcelona, Spain, and the Black Hand was the grand dragon that led the hordes in uniform with cone heads across the land.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now remember, I told y'all before they use pale faces to block institutions to keep out the friendly faces, to keep us out of the institutions. But they got the secrets and they hiding in the lodge, 32 Degrees, Scottish Rite, Albert Pike, Adam Weishaupt, George Washington, Two-Ball King Flip. They tied that shit all together in the Masonic Lodge. And now they use reverse psychology to draw two people that didn't even have any affinity for one another together because they told them they can't have each other.
Mm.
Because now the eugenicists is telling you that they trying to get rid of the birth defect in the European. Dr. Francis Quest Wellesley told him exactly what the defect was. And it stopped them from having the right to a sin. Big Mama don't like it that. She said, you don't throw people away like trash. So all this time, we've been thinking that we was the last that was about to be made first.
Mm-hmm.
We was living as last to the ones that was last that Big Mama made first. Because they did the dirt, the good had to suffer with the bad.
One bad apple spoils a whole bunch, huh?
One bad apple spoiled the whole motherfucking bunch. When you get so comfortable living in opulence lifetime after lifetime, it's exhilarating to have the resistance of the struggle in order to make your God form shine brighter than it ever had before. But first, you got to wake up from the slumber. So the devil is in place in order to use the law, because it wasn't over here. Before they came, we didn't have no prisons.
Mm-hmm.
So Big Mama smarter than motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
So what did she do? Because we didn't know how to break from under the curse. Kingu.
Mm-hmm.
Because they was doing the bloodletting rituals that was making us incapable of learning.
Mm.
Because it kept our brains in a stupor, a spell of sleep. Because the angels can't function in a state of fear. The fear caused all of our auras to shrink in on themselves and created our own hell. And bow down to something inferior to us because we failed to go within to find out who the fuck we was.
Mm.
All right? So the historical record pieces being put together, the genetic practices is also being spoke of in ancient times,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the scrolls that tell the story directly and indirectly all say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They say exactly what Baba said. You motherfuckers ain't getting punished for your sins. You getting punished by your sins.
Yeah.
So who in the fuck is they using to thrash our asses across the back?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, now that's going to have a lifespan and it has to come to an end. It got to have a lifespan and it has to come to an end. It got to come to a grand finale because this shit can't continue on. So we look around the world and find, is there any more melting pots?
Mm. That's right.
You remember,
Go ahead.
you remember what Pop said, right? Brazilianization.
Yeah.
Right? And Brazilianization is the mixing up of a genetic pool in order to clean birth defects from an inferior stock by the royal blood from across the land.
Mm.
The South American priest was the least infiltrated and the most effective in recovering YAKUB's grafted devil. Because how did they say, Elijah say they had to, how did they have to get rid of them? Reverse engineer them.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So if they need one drop of blood, that's enough to give them a right to a sin.
Mm.
Because now they can raise the sacred secretion. Before they could only operate on what's called the silver liquid, which is what they call cerebral spinal fluid, which is virtually clear like water, right? And is heavily infused with colloidal gold, colloidal silver, and other essential trace minerals and metals. It's not until the soft metals come into the body, what we call toxic metals, that interferes with the harmony in the system of allowing the secretions to rise. That's why they be putting all that metals in our shit.
Mm-hmm. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Hey, how, like, I hear you say that they need that one drop of blood to ascend. Is that the same thing to say that they needed that they stored soul, restored, or needed a soul to
Look,
get
when
out of
they
here?
said they didn't have a soul, it was because the calcification of the channel that allows the sacred secretion to rise.
The pineal gland, the melanin. Oh
Right.
shit! I know this. Go ahead.
They couldn't raise the liquid from the base of the spine to the head.
Mm.
And it caused them to short circuit and blow a fuse.
Mm.
Right? And it causes them to operate on the lower three chakras. They can't get past that. All they need is one drop of blood to clear the channel. So in the eugenics was all the time telling the public that they was trying to keep us apart. They was actually behind the scenes promoting interracial relationships in order to clean up the genetic defect and allow the people that didn't have the right to ascend to now have a right to ascend.
All this makes sense.
So now we understand why we tolerated all of that bullshit, because at any given time, under our oppression, we could have rose up and took over, but we didn't know it.
The whole damn time.
The whole goddamn time. The whole goddamn time that freedom was a carrot on the stick. And they had the stick tied up to our motherfucking back.
Damn. Go ahead.
So when we was chasing freedom, we didn't know that we are the ones that dispense freedom across the land. All we got to do is remember who the fuck we is and give the order to restore the balance to the land, the air, and the water. And galactic law say anything in any organization functional enough to aid on the planet must be mobilized in order to clean up the earth, the air, and the motherfucking water. What used to be chemtrails is cleanup shit now, but it still got to come out the sky. And it still got to bring the foul shit down with it in order to get it out the air. And when it come out the air, mama got to send that water to flood in order to wash that shit off the land so that it can go into the underground channels and be filtered through the charcoals and the soils of the earth. So now you see flooding in dry places. Shit, Baltimore flooded the other day. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Damn, Baltimore flooded? Damn.
I just posted it on my Instagram. Somebody sent me the video. Somebody from Baltimore sent me the video and say, look, this Baltimore.
Damn, that's crazy.
Now remember, they still got floods in California, Arizona, and New Mexico. And they don't even hardly get rain. Remember? It never rains in Southern California. So when it do, we need to be paying attention. Why is it all of a sudden raining in Southern California when it don't normally rain in Southern California because it's in the desert? That's going to make us have to go visit the Orisha, because the only place to find the answer is patriarchy brings drought. And it scars the land. When the matriarchy comes and those three soldiers get done tearing shit up, you know, we talking about Shango, Ogun, and Legba, in order to get the shit situated and straightened out. When Oshun returned, she returned with the floods to flush and cleanse the land. And then she brings the tranquility and the sweet water behind it, which is the payout. So all we got to do is time this shit to a Jubilee year, right? At the close of the age. And the transferring of the energy from Aquarius, which is the water, from Pisces, which is the water, to Aquarius, which is the air. That's moisture, that's evaporation, right? The reverse of evaporation is called saturation, right? So now the water pitcher of Aquarius was broke in order to signal the return of the Aquarian age. This was symbolic in a star meteor flying through the trajectory of the water bottle that Aquarius carries, right? That's the return of the sweet water for Oshun, who washes away the toxins off the surface of the earth, send them into the bowels and the belly of the planet to be recycled and cleansed. Because we got to cleanse the land, but you first got to start with the air. So you evaporate the water where it wasn't normally at, in order to rain where it didn't normally rain. right? So in order for that to happen up in the upper atmosphere, you got something called an atmospheric river that has to change trajectory in order to switch where the condensation of the earth arises. The only way this can happen is if we get off of a Schumann resonance and get back to the Schumann-Tefnut resonance of the golden cycle, right? But the UVB rays of the sun, shout out to Brother Kalai. That brother did a good job on explaining that shit. He was breaking that shit down. Well, we're gonna have to check that out too. We're gonna have to go over that one day because this also part of what I'm talking about. These rays of sunlight interact with the people, what they call the royal families, the noble blood, because it's earth-born stardust accumulation in order to give sentience to the physical body, right? That's the easiest way to explain earth-born child of the stars. So in order to be here, you have to be on a certain frequency in order to be optimally functional here. And if you have somebody here that's denied the right to be optimally functional, then somebody got to fix it.
Oh, shit.
And some of them, the wisest ones, they don't care about taking sides. They only care about being effective. They just want to make sure that the job get done, that shit get done right, and all of the bullshit get cleaned up. So, Miguel had to step out for a sec. I had to do that a minute ago. I got to talk to my sister. Look, my sister called. I went over because they was trying to tell her she needed to be in hospice, and my mom already told me she ain't going nowhere. She gotta keep her grandkids. So I went and got her some supplements to get her on her feet. My cousin called me talking about what you give her. She up cleaning up the house, she cleaning out the refrigerator. And I was like, see, I told y'all. But I had to wait till the traditional doctors can't do nothing, because then you ain't got shit to lose. You might as well try the remedy that I'm giving you, because it's an option you didn't have before. And when people got faced with their last option, they more likely to take advantage of opportunities when it's presented to them under those conditions. And sometimes those opportunities come from the most unexpected places. Everybody be looking for shit to be in a little neat order, and everybody to be squeaky clean, and nobody ain't never made no mistakes in their life. We all made mistakes. We all, what the Christians say, we all fall short of the glory of God because we ain't all doing no God shit. Motherfuckers running around talking about they woke and they diet woke. They talking about they gods, but they don't do no God shit. And they don't even know the difference between the God and the man. So at that point right there, they stuck, because they gonna tell you I don't know what the fuck they gonna tell you, anthropomorphism. But the fact that the original woman, mitochondrial Eve, is the oldest genetically traceable female, right? And what they call primordial Adam is the furthest tracing male. You want to look them up, young L, to show the people?
Yeah, go ahead. Wait, I'll look it up for you. Go ahead. What you got?
Mitochondrial Eve, so they can see that this is some real shit. They got whole scientific papers on this shit. I had to do this sometime because they be saying I don't be having no receipts.
Hey man, your receipts be official, bro. What was the last word? Mitochondria?
Eve. See it at the bottom?
Okay, right there. Eve.
Yeah.
Mitochondrial Eve.
Read what it say right there in human genetics.
Oh shit. In human genetics, the mitochondrial Eve is the matrilineal
most recent common ancestor
of
all living humans.
What?
Okay, now primordial Adam. My phone about to die, so when they die, we're gonna finish this another time.
Yeah,
We're
we'll
gonna
just do.
a
We'll
part.
come back with a part 2 if we had to, or another class. Because we've been on for a while. Anyway, we've been on almost 2
Okay.
hours since we've been on.
Yeah. So pull up primordial Adam. You right.
Primordial Adam, you said Adam?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Okay, it says in Catholicism, Adam, common, primordial, also called Adam Elium.
Put National Geographic behind it. Because they did the special.
National Geographic. Okay.
You would say scientific Adam and Eve?
Yeah, right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back and check out that white lady you taught us about earlier too.
Dog, she gonna blow your fucking wig back, dog.
Yeah, she on some shit there. I gotta put a tape out about.
I've been following her work since like since she was in school.
Mm-hmm.
When I first got up on her, she was in grad school.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. It says like Scientific Adam and Eve, National Geographic, National Geographic putting this shit out.
Yeah. So they go back to the most common Y chromosome ancestor. Now, when you listen to the dates, you go back to regular screen now. Okay. We're about to get ready to wrap this up. We're gonna come back in on the part.
I got you. All right, there we go.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
So mitochondrial Eve is something like 100,000 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But primordial Adam is 60,000 years old.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So who first?
That's a good question, because hey, you know what? I was about to put a tape out about that, arguing with was Adam first or Eve, or was the woman or the man first, based on mitochondrial DNA. To me, it's the woman.
The mitochondrial DNA said that the woman was here long before a man that was ever invented.
Mm-hmm. Plus,
right?
I don't know no man without a mother.
They never showed you a dinosaur with balls.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen one with a dick.
Go ahead. I didn't hit a button, drop a bomb right there.
Say that again. All animals up until a certain point was female.
Mm.
They got a mitochondrial lizard. She self-replicates. She just parthogenically reproduce perpetually.
Wow.
No males in their species.
Wow.
Pythons have been known to grow up and have living eggs and never being in contact with another snake.
Mm-hmm. I heard about that.
Right. Alligators have also been known to live in long-term isolation and still produce offspring, but the common denominator is they all the same gender as the mother.
Uh-huh.
Whereas if it's a breeding pair, the temperature in the incubation mound determine which ones are male and which ones are female.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But when they kept long-term captivity, they're all born female. That means they clones of the mother.
Mm-hmm.
They parthogenically generated. They have species of fish that's been known to parthogenically reproduce. These are ancient species of animal that predate the Y chromosome.
Mm-hmm.
The Y chromosome, when you look at it under a microscope, it is a X chromosome with an atrophied appendage. That's a loss of genetic material.
I just thought of something based on this class you taught today and based on what you just said now. So would that explain why the man has a shorter lifespan than the woman because of that missing telomere? He only got, so he would only have, a man would only have 7 telomeres versus a woman, because you got the Y, right? The X and the Y, and the woman had 8 telomeres and the man only has 7. Is that a reason why the woman lived longer than the man?
It's definitely a contributing factor on an average, but the woman can sustain a man if she love him, because she'll keep his mitochondria operating at its optimum performance. But she gotta love him like his mother loved him when she was carrying him in her womb unconditionally. She can't love you as long as you don't look at the neighbor down the street. But if you look at her, I don't love you no more. That's conditional. Man gonna look, you know. But when the woman give you that genuine, true love, and she can communicate telepathically with your mama, so they can flip messages through your ass, in your face, behind your back.
You tell the truth.
Right? And then when you wake up from your slumber, you see that they was using you like a puppet the whole time. You the fool in the tarot deck. And you on the hero's journey in philosophy. Right? You the fool in the tarot card on the hero's journey in philosophy. Right? And in philosophy, or in the occult, it teaches that the journey is within. Or they call it the journey to the self. Right? So I used to read this material from Self-Realization Fellowship. Right? Because the self-realization is coming to the understanding and aware your position is in creation and what is your value to life. Nobody don't ask themselves them questions because they scared of the answer.
Right. Go ahead.
If you good in your heart and you scared that the answer gonna come back that you was assigned to be the terror, your feelings gonna be hurt. Then you're gonna go terrorize some shit. And ain't gonna feel bad about it. Remorse is from never coming to terms with the things that you had to do for the level of understanding you was at. If you think you're gonna do the same thing at 45 that you was doing at 13, you's a damn fool. Because the quote is, be wise with speed, for a fool at 40 is a fool indeed. Right? And it say that the wisdom is wasted on the aged and youth is wasted on the young. How do you stop wasting all this shit? You had the elders to teach the young about their mistakes so they don't make the same ones.
That's what I see.
Break generational curses. Teach motherfuckers to be better people. You know? Get the motherfucking rogue elements out of the community. Stop motherfuckers from touching on the babies. Give them a free and open opportunity to determine who they is on their own without you telling them they was a boy born to be a girl. Why would you tell your child that?
That's crazy, man.
Right? So they reassigning genders at birth in order to control which children can reproduce. And if they got a certain genetic stock, they don't want them to reproduce. So they cross their gender. The side effect is when they come back in their next life, their gender gonna be confused because nobody don't know how to correct it because science fucked them up. Some of the most powerful people on the planet is them little kids you see in the wheelchair with the palsy.
Yeah.
Their spirits is so powerful that if they was in regular form, you couldn't control them. So the side effect is we get to be thankful that we healthy, happy, and capable, right? But now you got people with Down syndrome outperforming a lot of grown-ass motherfucking so-called normal people. It's wasted potential. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, wasted its potential.
Mm-hmm.
All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty dumbass back together again because he wasted his potential.
Yeah.
If he'd have stayed on the goddamn wall, the egg could have hatched and he could have turned into a fucking eagle.
Yeah.
But instead, he wanted, waste his potential. That's the story of the average person. That's how we end up in the human society, like wolves pick rank. Humans pick rank the same way. Most loved, most respected is the code that get us the highest ranking amongst the righteous. So no matter what you go through in life, whether you walk the dark side or in the light, you still got to be yourself in order to overcome your life's obstacles and become your best version of yourself. Because the mistakes you made is the ones that's designed to form your character into a certain thinking pattern in order to accomplish a certain goal in the overall grand arcana of things. The great work.
Mm-hmm.
And the great work is to build Solomon's temple.
Mm-hmm.
And Solomon's temple is the temple of man. And Solomon is the soul of man. That means the temple is the body. Don't they tell you that all the time?
Yeah.
The temple is your body is a temple. Respect your temple, right? Respecting your temple is understanding what to do with your mind, body, and soul. And understanding that being your best version of yourself is the only way to elevate. Right? So we're gonna wrap it up here, young elders.
Yeah, we're gonna let you. Hey, we're gonna get you back on, man, because like we got a lot to cover, man. So we're gonna be busy. We staying busy.
Yeah, we gotta do a part 2 to this because YAKUB's grafted devil is also gonna end up in politics and in religion. And I'm gonna show them these are the ones that is enforcing YAKUB's code. And then we're gonna review YAKUB's code.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be. Hey, this was a good class tonight because you gave me a lot of little key points that I can go off of to add to my game. And now I'm gonna go because that chromosome joint, man. I'm telling you, you just dropped some juice on that chromosome thing, man. You just put something in my head. I'm gonna go and research on chromosome because I'm doing a tape on which one was first, the woman or the man. And I'm looking at all of the evidence that we got to prove that the woman was first. Yeah.
And the last thing in relation to the woman and the man, all of the DNA is powered, all of the cells in the body is powered by mitochondrial DNA. If women love controls the DNA in the man that she loves, that's only possible because a man can't control it. It gives him higher access to himself. Right? So for mitochondrial to be that important and men can't control it and they can't pass it on. Right? That means that somewhere along the line, the woman had to okay the man to be a recipient of mitochondrial according to galactic law. And the only way that the woman would have to okay the man is if she was already here. And that's why I pointed out that all of those ancient animals was female.
That's right.
Who reproduced through partial gender.
I appreciate you putting that out. We so appreciate you pointing that out, man, because if you're in the building, hit that like, hit that subscribe, man. And like I said, we've been posting Brother Rob Haynes Cash App every 5 minutes in the chat. So if you want to show him some love like that, go right ahead, man. We take $1, $5, $10, whatever you got. We ain't he don't do it for money, but if you just like say you want to show him some love, go right ahead, man. All right, Rob, we about to get out of here, man, because this right here was a good one, man. We're gonna be back on with another whatever topic you want to do, whenever you want to come on, just let me know and we can do it. It don't matter what time it is, because I be going 3 and 4 times a day. But this was a good one. This was you really gave me more to this YAKUB thing. It's a bigger picture. So we about to get out. I think Rob Haynes' phone went dead. Like I say, you want to show him some love, we're gonna post the Cash App again in the links. It's $$ SIKAPE. So this is his brother Rod Haynes' Cash App, man. We want to thank y'all, all the people that showed us love tonight. So it's SIKAEPE, like Sky Ape. So we about to get ready to get out of here, man. This was hot. We thank you for tuning in. We're gonna be back on at 9 o'clock in the morning for the morning class. We got other topics coming out. And now that I got that particular chromosome thing from that chromosome look from Rob Haynes, I'm gonna take that and add it to the tape that I was doing, and that's gonna make, I'm gonna have some more information on this joint, man, on what he was just talking about. But we about to get ready to get out of here, man. Peace and love, Islam, Ashug, divine love throughout the violence universe to all.